The condition of the general manager of Canadiens, Kent Hughes, was determined for trade Jeff Petry, has long been known. He hasn't moved 1 inch from what he initially said about Petry's trade, that any agreement must make sense for Petry, but also for Canadiens. That Canadiens must get out of trade improved, both now or in the future. Now the free agent has been opened, now a group of teams spend a lot of money for players, and now the small market for Petry may be smaller. Hughes did not change his tone. And he shouldn't. Petry has a contractual obligation to Canadiens, and while his desire to play in other places has nothing to do with Canadiens or even hockey, the fact of Petry under the contract and become a player that Hughes likes and prefers to remain, he doesn't have to change the criteria for what ideal trade later. That's what makes this different from the Vegas Golden Knights, who needs to throw defender Dylan Collin to make Carolina Hurricanes take Max Pacioretty's 30-goal scorer from their hands. The Golden Knight must make the trade in accordance with the hat. Hughes has no obligation to trade Petry, and that changes everything. This is about finding a reasonable trade for Montreal Canadiens, Hughes said Thursday. If we can find it, we will do it. If not, Jeff must return to Montreal and play here. We love him as a player, and I think he loves everything about Montreal besides complications from a family perspective. So we will keep trying. This is not something that must happen today or tomorrow. It can happen in a week, it can happen in a month, and we will continue to work in that matter. I don't want to close the door of this organization or this team. Jeff Petry. He said he needed to discuss it with his family and reflected, but he was very open to return to Montreal. However, he would not say whether he would ask Kent Hughes not to exchange it. Arpon Basu, April 30, 2022. Hughes said he was still talking to several teams about the possibility of Petry's trade. He did not fully deny that the sustainable availability of defender John Klingberg, another defender, right defender, might play a few factors in the Petry, educate trading talks and not, whether Klingberg was jammed. Hughes smiled and said, "Do not have to. Maybe the team that left at Klingberg would indeed be GI.